Hey guys, there's a reason that other countries call us ignorant. I'm sure if you have any understanding of the U.S. military, you most likely recall an operation located in the Middle East called Operation Desert Storm. We bombed the hell out of them. Millions and millions of Middle Eastern civilians died for no apparent reason. We have since occupied and defended Islamic worship sites, and then in 2000 the bombing of the Twin Towers occurred. In my opinion, this is not an act of terrorism. It was a counterattack based on the rights of American citizens. Um, rights. Um, and I know that I am going out on a limb here, and this is going to sound really bad, and it's going to offend a lot of people. A lot of people. But I don't think Osama bin Laden is that bad of a person. I mean, his views were bad, but he wasn't a bad person. He was standing up for what he believed in, and he was standing up to American government's aggressive and irrational ways. Now, I'm not a supporter of terrorism. I'm simply stating that this term terrorism is purely propaganda by the general media and politicians to scare us into making us believe that what they were about to do is justifiable. And what we did was invade their country and hunt them down for oil, basically speaking. Iraq was not capable of having weapons of mass destruction. They could barely feed their children. They could barely bomb the Twin Towers. They had to steal a frigging airplane. Now, let alone weapons of mass destruction, this movement was only somewhat necessary. As soon as we killed Saddam Hussein, we should have gotten our asses out of there. Um, Now, let me take it back to World War II. What we did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki was purely a counterattack to Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. Our response, we nuked them. During Operation Desert Storm, their civilian and military casualties were much greater than our casualties during Pearl Harbor. We nuked them. The Al-Qaeda flew an airplane into our Trade Center, and we got our panties into a bunch. Now, I'm deeply sorry if you had someone who had a relative that died during the attack on the World Trade Center, but I'm trying to get a message across, and this is on a much larger scale for that, and I'm sorry for it. Anyways, there's a link on the bottom of my video if you have any doubts on why I'm saying this. Believe me, with my personality, I don't want to be an American idiot. Like how I threw that in there? Thought you did. Okay, so I want to stand up for what I believe in, and what I believe is that Ron Paul needs to win this election so we can start over, because in the direction that we're headed, where any other candidate would fuck this country, get us pregnant, and be gone by morning. Now, let me ask you a few questions. Would you hit a woman if they hit you first? That's what we did in Iraq. Would you sit around while some junkie steals your money for drugs? That's what we're doing. If you didn't want him around, would you go to his dealer as a friend or your coach? I don't need to say anymore. Ron Paul 2012. If he doesn't get elected, then I'm protesting.